Uh, you're watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean Paul Leck.
And together we are
Rope
Break. And
Break.
once again, live, we're just here ready to talk about SmackDown, the go-home show for what it is. It's going to be the Elimination Chamber on Sunday. I think a SmackDown that had a lot of build for what the Chamber is going to be. You know, they gave us more matches. I think that they changed up, like the Asuka one with Lacey Evans. So good on that. So, like, you know, a lot of more details for what is going to be the Chamber. So what do you think? Good, bad, you know, big load, or like a little bit?
I mean, SmackDown, this is just a typical SmackDown. It's like, you know, it wasn't like, oh, this week is so much worse than the past couple weeks, or, oh, it was so much better. No, to me, it was just par for the course, just same typical bullshit. The only thing that really got me excited was, you know, obviously everything Edge does is great. Edge is so good. Like we said, you know, since acting on that Viking show and everything, his promos have just gone to a new level. He was already great. You know, now he's even better. So, you know, everything he's in is fantastic. And we'll get into it a little bit in more detail. But every segment where he was talking to the baby faces who are going to be in the Chamber, that felt exciting to be. Oh, I'd love to see Edge versus Kevin Owens, Edge versus Cesaro, Edge versus Daniel Bryan. So, like, that stuff was good. And then, yeah, the rest of it, not so much.
Yeah, you know, like, so family, thank you so very much for being with us. Subscriptions, for the comments, you know, some love, some hate, you know, it's fine. We are here to take it, you know. We take the roses and the bullets, you know. We know how to take both. So thank you so very much on that. Don't forget to check the NXT UK, you know, video that we have, like Rampage Brown dethrones the Iron King, Joe Coffey. Great match, great intensity. See, that's how you have a main event. Not a 6-man tag. You have just a singles match. It's just easier to digest. And also, like, these two guys gave us a really great showing.
Yes, this, you know, NXT UK, we always say this is the best show in professional wrestling. And we also got a really good match to open the show, which was A-Kid versus Shaw Samuels, you know, Heritage Cup rules. And then the big surprise to us, which we are looking forward to see in 2 weeks, it will be Meiko Satomura going against Kaylee for the NXT Women's Championship. So we're really looking forward to that.
Exactly. So family, you know, just tomorrow, don't forget on Facebook, Saturday live night. It's not Saturday Night Live. No, it's Saturday night with
it'll be even better than Saturday.
It will be even better. You know, it's going to be like a lot of comedy, parodies. It's going to be everything. Elimination Chamber preview. We're going to be talking about everything that is going to happen on Sunday, and also we're going to go back memory lane. We're going to just talk about the chambers. What do we think about every single one? The ones, the best moments, some stuff that we remember, sometimes that we love, sometimes that we wish WWE would bring back. So be with us. You know, you have to be on Road Break on Facebook. You know. So please be with us. So Paul, you know, show started with "On This Day," so that's good. You know, like I like that. That's awesome. You know, it's not like the same stuff. I'm getting excited. You know, okay, finally something different. Edge is gonna be on the mic. It's gonna be great. But after, like you said, 2 minutes in the show, so like, okay, Roman Reigns has to come out, and of course his entrance has to be like what, 5 minutes of the show. So I don't know why it takes that long, but you know, that this really takes me away from everything that is going to happen in the show. I don't know how it does for you, but like for me, I just absolutely hate it.
Yeah, you know, Edge came out, and like we said, he's such a good promo already. And, you know, what was he doing? He's calling out Roman, kind of saying he was scared and everything. He's like, oh, you said I was scared, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, look at you. I got under your skin. I mean, he kind of said that to Roman's face as well. But, you know, then, like you said, Roman comes out. And it takes 5 minutes for this whole thing. And the whole time commentary is just saying, oh, yeah, Roman, oh, the big dog. Oh, he's so legit. This is his yard. When him and Edge last week, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you know, like you said, 2 minutes into the show. And it's like, is it 10 o'clock yet?
No, yeah.
And like, you're like,
don't forget, family, you know, Universal Championship match right there. You see the members involved into the Elimination Chamber. And whoever wins out of the 6 guys, then he'll go and challenge Roman. I don't know if it is right after, or maybe they set up the match, you know, for the main event. So, like, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I would say for it to keep the momentum, especially if the winner is like a Cesaro or, you know, Daniel Bryan, you know, somebody that it's like, okay, like, you know, like, are they going to do it? Are they going to give one to the fans? You know, then I think it needs to happen right after. Because if there's a pause in the action, you know how that is. Like, if you're, you know, if you know it's something legit and you have to pause and take a break, you lose all that momentum.
Yeah, so, you lose the momentum. So probably not. But like this, talking about legitness, Edge, he cut a really great promo because Roman goes, remember what happens, you know, like You didn't acknowledge me. You have to acknowledge me because you want to go for the main eventer, or you want to go with the main event. The guy that has a main event at WrestleMania for 4 times is going to be up to like his 5th or even 6th, main event on WrestleMania. So Edge says, well, the way I see it, Roman, is like, you need me to be the main event of WrestleMania because it doesn't matter who I choose. It can be AJ Styles, it can be Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Kofi Kingston. Any opponent that I choose is going to automatically become the main event. So you see how like Edge like completely twisted around, turn it, and I was loving the intensity. I was loving every single thing that Edge was saying. So I'm pretty sure you were loving it too. But then they really damaged the segment. They really crushed it. Yes. And normally we love this guy. The Liberator, Sami Zayn, Cuba Libre, and all of that. But like he was in the wrong moment this time, because he completely destroyed this, this segment. He comes out and interrupts Roman Reigns and also like Edge, and he also says that Edge, you are the ultimate opportunist, but are the best strategist in the WWE. So you see right there, he's just talking about like how like Roman is focused on Edge, but he should focus on whoever is going to win in the Elimination Chamber. He's like, hold on, buddy. He's like, you got to focus on us before you can focus on Edge. I mean, he was right about that, but then then the seriousness of the promo and the segment completely died for me.
Oh yeah, like we said, Edge and Roman, it was so legit and it felt so serious. It was like an argument in a movie between like 2 adults, and then like the little baby walks in, and then it's like, oh, okay. Like, you know what I mean? It just like kills, and it's like so awkward. And that's what this was. But, everything Sami did say was true. But like we said, just the way that they present Sami's character. If Sami was presented in a legit manner, this wouldn't have felt so awkward. But it's because they present him like a mid-card bullshit heel. That's how he felt. And then, like you said, his own tag partner in the main event tonight super kicks him. So, okay, I see, that team is going to work together. Yeah,
exactly. And then you see Roman got like not close to Edge, and he says like, please subscribe to Road Break, hit the bell for notifications. So, right there, Edge is like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. You see how he's hesitating, but come on, Edge, give us a chance. We love you. We love Bad. We love your music. So come on. So then Roman right away, he leaves, the arena. And that was the end of this segment. I think that like the first, 3 minutes of it was really good. But then later on, it just became like really, really.
Yeah, and I mean, and that wasn't like with Sami Zayn, like I said, it really wasn't even that bad of a thing. It was just, the way he's presented. But, at least Edge, and then they closed the promo legit. It was just like some wilted lettuce on your sandwich. Everything else was pretty legit, but the lettuce was.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So, let's move on to like you're talking about food. Are you hungry? Because like right here, there you go, right here we have.
Look at that transit. Look at that transition. Look how good we set that up.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Paul. There you see, but like what is not cool is like I don't want to see my Intercontinental Championships eating. I just don't think that is the right way for me to present a champion that is a serious champion. That like has like the second belt, like when the second most important belt in the WWE, their Intercontinental Championship. Oh yeah, I just feel like eating. I didn't eat dinner yet. So I'm just gonna eat it in front of a match. I don't like that. And then we actually
and that looks like a kid. That looks almost like a kid's cuisine, like a kid's meal, like those microwave
like
dinners.
A Lunchable. Yeah, but like we want a champion to look like serious, and Big E is not doing that. And then you wonder why you don't get pushed in the main event scene. Oh, that's all I gotta say on that.
Well, remember this was a couple months ago. This was the rumored winner of the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Now he's sitting here on a sofa, eating with his mid-card title. So
that's what I mean. So like do you see why he doesn't even, get any opportunities? So then he was there to see the match between Shinsuke Nakamura and Apollo Crews, and this was a pretty decent match. I liked it. I mean, you see the intensity in Apollo. He's upset. He's pissed off because he hasn't gotten what he wanted. And he wants another match for the Intercontinental Championship. And Nakamura also was supposed to, he was involved in this. And he actually gets the win. So what did you think? Because the match, I mean, like I said, good. But Nakamura didn't even hit the Kinshasa. It was just, like a weird way of ending the match.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. I mean, the one thing, it was like Big E, when we saw him come out, like we had mentioned, it's like, oh, really? Like, this is how the IC champ's going to be. But on commentary, they were just the whole time, oh, Apollo Crews this, Apollo Crews that. And Big E was actually really putting over Nakamura. He's like, let's talk about Nakamura. Let's talk about how underappreciated he's been in the WWF. Let's talk about how he deserves to be WWE champion. And everything he's saying, it's like, yeah, this is true. He's like, how about, when this guy's gone in his career, he retires, we're going to look back and say, oh, we should have appreciated him more. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm like, Big E, like all this stuff he's saying is legit. Can you cut a legit promo about yourself like that? And, treat yourself like that. But anyway, I mean, this match was all right. Like you said, the ending I didn't like. But I mean, both these guys are good. They're going to put on a great match. Whether you do a triple threat, if because that triple threat on Raw is in danger, who knows? Maybe they'll even put this on the card or on the
they might
pre-show
add
or
it
something.
later on. Yes.
But I mean, so who knows? But I mean, the intensity's there with all three of these guys. But like you said, you see Big E eating his Lunchable. But yeah, I mean, but then everything, the main story, like what do we always say?
When he was done eating, right, Paul? When he was done eating, then you see the intensity back, like he got his Snickers.
And what do we always say? Sometimes it's not about the match, unfortunately, but it's what the match sets up.
What leads
and
to
that was all this after.
And Apollo Crews starts attacking Nakamura. He was about to hit Nakamura with the steel steps, and then Big E interrupts. He's like, "No, don't do that, bro. Not on my watch." And then you see Apollo Crews attacks Big E with the steel steps. So he completely, I don't want to say he injures him, but he hits him with that. So he completely takes him out. And then you were saying before, the commentary was insufferable on this situation. So I didn't really like that. But what did you think of that? Because we're like, oh my God, Big E's all done, and
Oh, I mean, of course they had to it was Michael Cole, so he was freaking out, overreacting and everything. But I mean, I did all this intensity by Apollo. And was that beforehand? He had the promo with Caleb Braxton.
Yeah, he had the promo right here. He had a promo that he said, "Oh, my lineage is actually Nigerian royalty," and then
yes.
If he would have said the same thing to me, with my grandparents and everybody, he would have got his tongue cut or something like that, So you see, Apollo is actually turning a nice heel.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Great intensity from Apollo, and it's this is like I said, this is what I want to see from him. This is then this beatdown I think really solidified the heel, the intensity, all the great stuff, and who knows, because Big E, maybe he'll have to relinquish the title. Because we saw the beatdown real bad, and then we can just mention it now. It doesn't really impact the show at all. Later on, we did see Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville. They saw Big E because, here we have the picture of him getting put on the stretcher. They saw him getting loaded into the ambulance.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows? He might have to relinquish that belt, or it's WWE. Maybe he'll just be back perfectly healed in 2 weeks. So, who knows?
Exactly. Oh, saludos, David. Un amigo mío, a friend of mine, Jean Paul, David from Ecuador. David,
okay, David, legit.
Thank you for supporting us. Gracias por apoyarnos, David. Gracias a toda la gente que nos ve en español. Unfortunately, I don't do the shows in complete Spanish, but maybe soon, guys. Keep supporting, keep getting the subscribers up, and I'll promise I'll go full-fledged. After the English version, I'll do the Spanish one. So thank you so very much on that, family. So now let's go to Seth Rollins, Jean-Paul. He comes back. I don't know if you like what he's got in the promo, because I really don't understand what he was saying with all of this. Because he comes out, you get to see the recap of all this thing that happened last week. Everybody leaves. Cesaro is the only one that stays. And Cesaro, oh yeah, you understood me. I knew you will get it. And then you see that I'm your leader and everything. And then he attacks Cesaro. And then you see Seth Rollins said that he was preparing his return, but the return was ruined. But he's supposed to be friends, but all these losers left him alone. So what did you think about this promo?
I mean, Seth Rollins is always, he's a good promo, just sometimes everything he says isn't good because WWE tells him to say it, but at least, he delivers it good. He delivers it with intensity. And I mean, I don't know if this is going to get us to a feud with him and Cesaro, then I'm all for it, because the two of them are going to put on, some great matches. But, I don't know. I feel like this would have been a good opportunity to turn Rollins babyface. I've said it the past couple of weeks when he came back, but that might also be because besides Roman, there's really no big heels on this show.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, Apollo is becoming there, or he's getting there. So, I mean, that's one, but besides Roman, Corbin's a joke. Sami Zayn's a joke. So, they needed a heel.
They need a strong heel, and maybe they need Seth Rollins, and whatever they put Rollins to do, like you said, whether we like it sometimes, whether we don't like it, he's going to do his best. Yeah. So also he says this, and I think what you just said is going along those lines. He said that Cesaro disrespected him last week, but this will not stay this way. So you see that later on, maybe he will interfere in the chamber. Maybe you see right there the path. So we'll see what happens on that. But like I said, only just cutting a promo didn't do it a lot for me. I just want to see him having a match, beating somebody. So we see kind of in what shave is he on, if he forgets his steps, for being a few months out of the WWE. But other than that, this is what we got.
Yeah, and if I would do it, I would say you don't have, because the match isn't going to be, you win the chamber, you get the match at WrestleMania. And like we said, the match is probably going to be Edge versus Roman. That's probably what it's going to be. So then this chamber match, you could say, really doesn't matter, correct? Am I correct in assuming that? Then give it to Cesaro, have Cesaro one-on-one with Roman, somehow, some kind of distraction. Oh, boom, Rollins super kick on Cesaro. Roman looks at him like, what the hell? And then Rollins is like, oh, yeah, he'll give me a title shot. Like, I helped him. But it's like, oh, you're bullshit, Rollins. But then also that'll get heat because, Seth Rollins cost Cesaro this opportunity, almost like Shawn Michaels, would costing The Undertaker.
Yes.
Kind of like, oh, now you can't go for the title or you lost your title. Now you're going to come at me. So,
yes,
that would be a way.
Your answer, you come to me for that. So, yeah, it is a good idea. Like I said, we're seeing the path is going to lead us to that match. So, we'll see. But like you mentioned in the beginning of the show, Edge goes to every single one of the people that are going to be involved in the Elimination Chamber. One of them was also Kevin Owens. So you see this beautiful stare down between two Canadians right there. And, Edge says, I really appreciate, how brave you are, how you always, stand up, besides how many times you lost to Roman. Way too many, and you're not champion. It's like, why you want to be like Piper Niven, dude? You see in the picture right there. Why, dude? You never win the title. What's going on? I said, I really appreciate, you're pretty much how you always stand up and your resiliency, but I would really love to have a match with you. I think it will be a great match. And Kevin Owens is like, so I've loved you ever since I was a kid, all of that. So they pretty much, hey, we're going to have a great match. And that's what it is. I like this promo too, Edge, talking to everybody.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, all these baby faces you talk to, I would love to see those matches. They're all dream matches. Like you said, it's like, okay, like your boyhood idol, who'd you look up to as a wrestler? It was Edge, that would be legit, and like you said, they're both Canadians. So the story's right there and they're both, talented wrestlers. And the same thing with all the other ones we saw, later on, Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, the stories, he could tell with these three guys would be legit. So, this was actually something on the show. Like I said, you felt okay. Because to me, I think Edge will challenge Roman. I think he'll win. He'll be the champ because to me, Edge is SmackDown. I feel like that's the show, he should be on. When I think of Edge, I think of SmackDown. So, have him be the champ here, then he will be able to have the opportunity to wrestle all these guys. Because if he goes on Raw, it's like you just tease us, you just blue ball us, and then okay,
yeah. And what is blue balls? Because it's the blue brand. It's SmackDown. Exactly. So that's why you're right. And it just gives the opportunity. Yeah, and supposedly, I guess that match is locked. So for the ones, they said there's only 4 matches, one of them, but everything is set to change. So nothing is set in stone in the WWE. What is set in stone are this tag matches in between the women absolutely suck. And we have here Natalya and also Tamina going against the Riot Squad. We just found out that Liv Morgan is actually living in her farm with Bo Dallas. No wonder he's been off TV. He's learning to be a farmer. So that's kind of funny. But this match was absolutely quick. And we thought that the Riot Squad was going to get the win. But no, always Billie Kay has to come and ruin the party for the Riot Squad. And this time she showed up with Natalya's the kitty ears, right?
Yeah, the cat ears. Yeah. I mean, this match was pretty much, if you blink, you missed it. They just came, Billie Kay came down, distracted them. Liv Morgan got taken out and, big slam. I looked at Samoan, was it the Samoan drop or whatever?
No,
or
no, it wasn't. It was the most big Bozeman slam,
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
a running slam, really nicely done by Tamina though. I like the fact that she actually used a different move because we're used to the super kick and then the splash. So at least I'll give her that. And then she got the win.
Yeah, but I mean, what is we said, the Riot Squad? I don't know. They were the only legit team because they have a name. The two of them have a name, the Riot Squad. So it's okay, legit. And, then they're treated like bullshit. So I don't know. But then, I mean, those tag titles, I feel are going to get dropped in NXT and then they're going to live in NXT, for the foreseeable future. So they don't really care about the tag division on the main roster. And this is just bad. And then you saw Billie Kay. She wanted to join with the heels and they're like, get the hell out of here. I mean, this is just the whole.
Nobody loves Billie Kay, Jean-Paul.
No, nobody loves, the women's division. Except the main event, and the main event on SmackDown is even shit. Since they took the title off Bayley, this women's division has gone downhill fast.
It's a little lost, especially because you're merging the tag titles with the SmackDown Women's Championship. So we're gonna go in a little bit to talk about that, but that's what we have in this segment. And now we're gonna go we said. Edge was just going around guys. He was going around people, and then he got to meet Baron Corbin. And Corbin is like, this wasn't as pleasant as the other guys. It's like,
No.
oh, I want like the dream match. I don't want to.
This is one I don't want to see, but I'm sure it'll be Edge's first title defense will be against this clown.
Yes, but at least I like the intensity as a heel, meaning also the stuff that we say is like, you see like this suit, $10,000 suit, you see this watch, $39,000 suit, like watch, so you see like, okay, just know that like I'll win the chamber, and at WrestleMania you're gonna main event with me. So like, at least he's trying to do the heel thing that he has to be. So I'll give him that. I'm not saying that.
And he's in the exact same category as Sami Zayn. There's nothing wrong with the guy's legit, but it's just the way WWE presents him.
Yes.
And that's why the guy, you can't take him seriously. But if they would present him seriously, give him a better. Then now this gimmick seems a little bit better. He's not wearing the crown and the fur, cape and all that bullshit. He's more like you said, rich. Like, I have money, I'm legit. I'm better than everybody. So
finally,
we'll see. Maybe this is like a new tweak. Yeah, a new tweak to the gimmick because it's realistic. No grown man, Jerry the King Lawler did it. King of Memphis, that was different times. It's 40, or like Booker, 30, 40 years ago. Thing. Yeah. But, now it's like, no, you got to be wearing a suit. You got to be modern, got to look legit. So Corbin, this is good, with, Edge. And like I said, Edge just makes everything feel more legit. So.
Edge makes it better. Pato is also watching. He says, greetings to Jean-Paul Egg. Like our number one fan, nuestro fan número uno. Gracias, Pato, por being with us or estar con nosotros. So let's go to the next segment. Ding dong. Hello, Jean-Paul. What's up? And don't forget, open through the door. It's like the APA thing. You gotta make it through the door, and like we get to see Bayley, the second episode of her show, and she has the tag team champions Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, and they're just joking around. Hey, guys, like we used to fight for like the title and all of that. But then right away, like they're starting to talk about Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. So this is, like this is the part that, like you said, the show is confusing and also like is losing like the momentum. Like this, we don't want to see this because this is a little boring. Especially when Reginald comes out and he goes, because they start talking crap about Sasha Banks, and he's like, no, don't be talking about her. She can defeat both of you and all of that. So you see right there. And he's like, no, like he's like, don't talk bad about Sasha Banks or Roderick because you will regret it. And then Sasha Banks comes out, and then you see, she addresses Reginald and is like, hey, thank you for doing that, but I can defend myself. I can talk for myself. So he tries to be legit, but no, he's never legit. So then Bianca comes out. So you see like everything happens right there. And then right away they set up a match. I don't like this. What about you?
No, I mean, yeah, the segment was fine when they were calling out Bianca, and I'm like, okay, this will probably just lead to a tag match, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler going against Sasha and Bianca. They're teasing that matchup, but like I said, it's all teases because those titles are getting dropped in NXT.
Yes.
So I mean, but it's like whatever. It kills time on the show, I guess. I can go make coffee. I don't need to pay attention to this bullshit. But then Bianca comes out. I mean, excuse me. But with Reginald there, it's like, okay, what are they going to do? And we saw him wrestle Sasha Banks. So, they're fine with him doing intergender matches, but it's like, is Bayley going to wrestle? Like, look at her outfit. And it's like, is this, this match isn't going to be legit. And it wasn't. So, I did not like this.
No, especially, like you said, like, and why is the point of him? Like,
look how legit Edge feels. Now, this is also nothing against Bianca, but Edge is more legit, how he carries himself and, his character, his brand, whatever you want to call it. But look how legit he feels and how bullshit Bianca feels.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like both Royal Rumble winners, try saying that 10 times fast. But, Edge feels so much more legit than she does.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. And then you see like this, like he was trying to celebrate with them. And, so you're not part of our team. Like, you suck. Really, really bad. This was a bad segment. And also, like, he wanted to go against Nia Jax because she kept calling him, like, little boy, right? Or short boy. Or
little man.
Little man. There you go. Little man. And then he tries to go after her. Of course, Nia is really more powerful and everything. But then Bianca and Sasha do, like, a drop kick. And then he pins Nia Jax right there. And then, boom, like like the baby faces in this case, baby faces, so get the win. And then we get, like, oh, so this, like, remember, there was reports in the morning saying that it was going to be Naomi and Lana challenging for the tag team belts. No, they changed it, of course, because they need star power. So they made it different this time. So now what we're going to get at the Elimination Chamber is going to be Nia Jax, then Shayna Baszler defending, and Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. If they put the titles on them, shame on them. Those titles are going to be muddy, because there's no reason for this too. Sasha and Bianca need to have their own feud.
Yeah, unless they're doing this, and then the two of them are going to go to NXT and drop the titles to Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, and then that kind of starts the tension between the two of them. They
and
can
that's
do
fine, yeah.
Which, because if you think about it realistically, as good as the matchup of Shayna Baszler going against Dakota Kai and Dakota finally beating Shayna Baszler, even if she doesn't pin her, her team beat Shayna's team. It's some kind of victory for her because she can never beat Shayna, in the past. Or you could look at it where Bianca and Sasha are way bigger stars. So like beating them would be, you're even more over. But then you're also, your Royal Rumble winner is going to get either going to get pinned or, her team's going to lose. So I don't know if you want to, book her like that either. So this is tough to say. I would just keep it on Shayna and Nia, but
I just will do that, but it's known for the WWE. They always do that. Remember when like Shawn Michaels was going to go with John Cena for the title? What did they do? Weeks before that, they gave them the tag team titles. They beat the Hardys for that. So no, in WWE, you always expect and expect it. So there you go. So after that, there's going to be, of course, consequences from this. And then you see, for example, I got this picture from like Carmella, the untouchable one. Of course, she's looking pretty. We got to admit, freaking Corey Graves. That's the only thing I will say. At least this guy has her. So that's okay. Good for you, Corey Graves. But like he's talking to Reginald, like, what did you take so long? Where you been? Like, I was trying to get this drink for you. It has to be in the right temperature. It has to be all of these qualities. And it's like, don't be stupid. I know where you've been. Don't be a fool. It's like, you've been helping out Sasha Banks and all of that. And then she finally gets the drink. And it's like, that's what happens when you don't subscribe to Brobrick. Shame on you, you dumbass. There you go. Get away from here. So, like, at least you see the tension between the two of them. But I don't know why there needs to be tension, because he should be helping out Carmella and not Sasha.
Now tell me if I'm crazy, if I'm coming out of left field, but I can smell something in the air, and it is Reginald joining a heel Sasha Banks, and they're going to turn Carmella babyface. I think it's way too soon to do both of those things, but I feel like they're like fast tracking it because he's so far up Sasha Banks' ass, and all she needs to do is turn heel. Because remember when she was heel and she'd come out and there'd be all like the bodyguards, her in the car and shit. Yeah. Reginald can even though he's not a big bodyguard, he could be like a little, a butler, manservant, whatever. And Carmella, a lot of people like her. Because one, like you said, look at her, she's beautiful. And, people are fans of her because WWE does so much behind the scenes stuff. And, she's big on social media. People see what a sweet person she is. So, she's over, even though I think she's a way better heel than babyface. But I wouldn't be surprised if, they make that switch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You're right. So, like, it could easily be done. So that's probably what they're going to do. So now let's go to Cesaro. He's talking about what is going to happen with Seth Rollins. And like we mentioned before, there's going to be a match in between, these guys. He says, like, he was wanting to see what Seth Rollins, if he was going to be the right leader. He said, no, he completely, like, turned me down. He disappointed me one more time, but, like, down the line, I'm going to take care of this guy. Like, we'll see what happens, but it's like, now I have to focus on the Elimination Chamber and also winning and becoming the new Universal Champion, because that will allow me to face this guy. And Edge, so, like, you see the legitness right there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, okay, dude, it's like, I respect you. You see respect from both sides. And, you see a really confident Cesaro, though. Way confident than you ever seen him before. And then he goes, you know what? I'll see you at WrestleMania, after I win the Universal Championship. So you see that, that's really cool from Cesaro. We never seen this side of him. And I'm really excited. So maybe if it's not WrestleMania, maybe after he gets that big, push for SummerSlam, maybe.
Oh, yeah. And maybe Cesaro is just better on the mic as a babyface. Because maybe he's not even, I'm playing a babyface. Maybe he's just being himself. Yeah. And then when he was on as a heel and he'd be on commentary or whatever, it was like awkward. It was like, okay, he's kind of like really thinking of what he wants to say. He's like stumbling and stuff. So it's like, but this, like you said, his delivery's so much better. The confidence is there. This is really good for Cesaro. So that's why, I'd love to see him win the Chamber and beat Roman, but I know that's not going to happen. That's just, a dream. So, but I mean, this match, him versus Edge, like you said, if you want to do a big SummerSlam match, especially if they push him, like you said, he beats Rollins at WrestleMania. That's a huge win, one-on-one, clean win over Seth Rollins. That I would think deserves a SummerSlam match.
Yeah. It deserves a spot, so like we'll see what happens. But good over Cesaro, like he's really pumping me up. Like if we had Coffee Mania, why can we not have Cesaro Mania? Like or Mania
Yeah,
Cesaro,
especially
whatever.
because he's getting better on the mic. It's not like, so this guy can't talk.
Yes,
No,
and
like,
of course, in the ring he speaks like
yeah.
the way he talks is in the ring. So like let's go to like those. This like you said, Blink of an Eye. You want to Blink 182 right here? We
This
got the
was
tag team
faster than the
champions.
women's tag team.
Oh yeah. This was like really fast. And we get the tag team champions on commentary is because Otis and also Chad Gable were going against the Mysterios. And like you said, this match, if you blink, you missed it because it was so fast. And this match actually wasn't not even a match, but like Mysterio got injured because like Otis and Chad Gable are actually kind of like acting heelish now. And Chad Gable is more like dominant. He's the one that manages Otis. We don't see more the funny, happy, all caring Otis. So he actually injured Rey Mysterio, and then he did a big splash on him also. So he got disqualified. So what do you think? Like, is it better for two Otis to turn heel or no?
No, and I don't. I feel like this is almost Chad Gable is like the one who's secretly heel, and Otis is just dumb and innocent. And eventually, like Otis is going to get blamed for something that Chad Gable told him to do, and then he'll be like, "Oh, I didn't mean to do it," and then it'll be like Gable will just be like, "Oh, well, you're a dumb idiot," and then they'll break the team up, and maybe they'll have the one-on-one feud that him and Tucky should have had, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
But I mean, the whole thing that just stood out to me more than that is just what are they doing with Rey Mysterio?
Oh yeah, well, I have news also for you. Like they dropped completely the angle with like Aaliyah and Buddy Murphy. Completely dropped. They don't want to do it anymore. They said that like pretty much they started out and they it was getting hot, but like they didn't know what to do with it moving forward. So they just
Does that see? Whenever you start a story, the first thing you should come up with is the ending.
You should know where it's going,
and then work your way to you should make the beginning,
and when
make the ending, and then fill in the middle.
And Dominic is also, if Ray is lost, Dominic is as lost. Because like at least they should be a tag team and maybe challenge for the tag team titles. At least that will give him something.
That's what I honestly thought that's what this was going to be. I thought, oh, the Mysterios are going to look good. They're going to win here. Maybe that'll be the WrestleMania match for the SmackDown tag team titles. The Dirty Dogs versus the Mysterios. Let these guys have their moment. How legit would that be? Oh, I won the tag title with my dad at WrestleMania. I mean, it could still happen. But I mean, going off this right now, this is bad.
Oh yeah, it is bad. I feel bad for the Mysterios. For Ray, like you said, Ray, ever since he returned, the only good thing he had, a little bit Seth Rollins, that was okay, but Brock Lesnar and the Survivor Series 2018, I think it was 2018, yes. That was the only great thing. That was the only thing, because outside of that, everything else looked really bad. But there you go. You wanted to see this? There you go. That's for you. Finally, Edge, meets with Daniel Bryan, two wrestlers that came out of retirement, so we got to mention that. And Daniel Bryan says that like he would like to face Edge at WrestleMania in case that like he becomes the Universal Champion after the Chamber. So Edge responds, this could be a dream match made into reality. So like
I love I love that line from Edge where he's like, some would call this a dream match, and then Daniel Bryan said some will call it overdue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
as in saying like it was a shame you should have never retired, and then these two guys. Well, if Edge would have never retired, he could have wrestled Daniel Bryan in his prime.
Yeah,
I mean, both these guys can still go and it still be legit. And see, that's something I want to get your opinion on it. If The Rock said I can do WrestleMania, guaranteed, set in stone, I can do WrestleMania, I would take the title off Roman at this Chamber, get somebody really over. And then have the feud with Edge, whether it's Cesaro, and then Cesaro beats Edge at Mania. Cesaro gets a little run with the title, whatever. And then you just do Roman and The Rock. They can feud non-title over who's the real head of the table.
Absolutely. Yeah. They only keep in the title because, like you said, Roman, without the title, like it looks a little crappy, unless it's The Rock. Like you said, because easily the feud is like, oh, you're the tribal chief. No, I've been the one that.
Yeah, the Rock could feud with you. The Rock could sell a feud with you over like a McChicken.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like he's so legit.
Yeah. So like, like that one that fell on the floor and somebody came and picked it up and ate it. That's fine. Like that's why The Rock is so good. But like you said, it could easily be that the main feud. But of course, like Dwayne, he seems so busy. They even said for next year to maybe try to do something with him. He has already projects for next year lined up. So it's really difficult to get him. That's the thing, is like no company wants him to wrestle when he's like shooting a movie or filming, because of what happened with Hercules. Hercules a complete flop, and that was because he actually delayed production, also because he got injured in the match with Cena. So they don't want to do that ever again. So good job on that, WWE. So like, remember this? You see the 3 guys that are going to be involved in the main event, and then like you kind of like gave us the stunner to me, to Cesaro. Can we trust you today? It's like, so you'll be legit. Like, don't no stunners today, you know. It will be at the chamber.
Oh yeah,
So,
and I love how they're like, yeah, but remember when you joined the New Day and then you turned on them, and remember when you turned on Sami Zayn, and this is all Cesaro's like, do you remember when you turned on Sami Zayn? He's like 5-6 times. He's like, I mean, it is Sami Zayn, I get it. He's like, but still, like that's what I mean. Like he's funny. Like Cesaro, like he's so much better on the mic. It's insane. But I mean, I'm loving it because I think, Vince is going to see it because he said the only reason he doesn't push him is because he's bullshit on the mic. So he's clearly getting better. So, that's why I think the push is coming. But, I like this, the baby faces. I want to get your opinion on this. I think this would have made this triple threat more legit. I mean, not triple threat, 6-man tag more legit. Is if it would have been the winning team. Now you would have had to give a lot more time to the main event, cut the women's bullshit, cut the Bailey ding dong hello bullshit, and make it that the winning team then goes into a triple threat match, and whoever wins is the last person, their pot opens last.
That would have been good because you did that for the Monday Night Raw. So in all fairness, you have to like do something also to give a guy some kind of advantage.
And then all these teams, are not all these teams, but all these guys on each team would have wanted to work together instead of there being like, the heels might be like, oh, we don't trust each other. The baby faces, it's like, all right, guys, let's not be bullshit. Let's win this. Then we can all hate each other. But until then, we got to work together.
Exactly. And the one thing also, like you said, like, especially in this match, it would have made much more sense. Why? Because whoever gets the last, we would have been the last one to come out in the chamber. He would have been fresher. And that person, let's say, wins. It would have been more fresher to go against Roman.
Yeah, it would have been a more believable instead of like, the guy who didn't even go in a pod, he started the match. He's the one to go against Roman. He's so beat up. Like, okay, clearly Roman's going to win. No, like you said.
Yeah, but like, so the match was okay. We got to see big spots. Cesaro did I think he did the Cesaro swing like for like 2 commercial breaks. We come back.
Unless he set down Corbin and then they're like, all right, we got the commercials ending in 5 seconds. Start swinging him again. And he's like, legit.
Or like, he kept swinging and swinging and swinging, but that was okay. And then we got to see good stuff from like Sami Zayn. The Blue Thunder Bomb always looks good. Daniel Bryan always like with like extremely great style, always like technical. I like it.
Yeah,
also, like he had a big spot, like he did like this big like underhook suplex, and then he transitioned into like the Lavelle lock, and then boom, right there. Unfortunately, the Liberator, like you always said, legit guy, El Generico. He has all the power in the world, all the skill, but always gets pinned. They always put him to get the pin, right?
Yeah, and I mean, but this match, like you said, it was good, but it you could just. There was something wrong with it. And the something wrong with it was you had Paul Heyman and Edge on commentary. As great as Edge is, this was like Cody on commentary on AEW. It's like you're talking about everything except the match that's going on in the ring. Because the whole thing, all 4 of these guys are just talking about Edge and Roman. Just their interactions and, is Edge going to go against Roman? All this stuff. Barely even talking about what was going on in the ring. And I mean, but the match, it was good though. Cesaro, he looked good, like we said, and he did kind of the selling. It showed like he can make a comeback, all this stuff. Like he can do everything you need him to do as a baby face. Oh, I can sell, make the big comeback, hit all the big spots. And then he tagged in Daniel Bryan. And like you said, Daniel Bryan cleaned up and pretty much won the thing. Kevin Owens did a good job holding the ring down, making sure it didn't float away. I don't even think he tagged in this match. But, then, of course, afterwards, everything breaks down. Cesaro hits the big uppercut. Uso comes in, super kicks him. End of days. Blue Thunder Bomb, like you said. Yep. Stunner. Everybody came in, unlimited finishers. And then Edge spears Jey Uso. And then Roman spears Edge. So it's
one of the worst spears, right? Edge. We gotta admit though. Like,
the hug, where the angry hug,
hugging, right there, beautiful hug. Like, hey, bro, we're gonna go down a little bit, all good. And then Roman, like you said,
doesn't it hurt you to say that Roman hits a way better spear?
It does. Everything positive I have to say about Roman hurts me. So it hurts my mouth. I gotta go brush my teeth after this. So because it's like I hate to say something nice about Roman Reigns, but that's what it is because he has a better spear than Edge. Go see like right there, hugging.
I'm sure he has a better spear. Okay, ladies, calm down. Not that spear.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not almost.
Yeah, no, it's not Omos. So you get to see like this picture right there. That's what he stands tall. Edges are still undecided. He doesn't know where he's gonna go. He doesn't know the answer. He hasn't given the answer yet. He said he's going to wait until the end of the Elimination Chamber, and then he's going to decide who he's going to challenge, for that title. But, we most likely, 90% is actually it's going to be Roman Reigns. So we'll see what happens. But this wraps it up. This was the end. He stands tall, and he's ready for the Chamber and for WrestleMania. So what are your conclusions on this? Are we ready for the Chamber? I think it's going to be a pretty decent show. Hopefully WWE falls for that.
I think the main two Chamber matches are going to save this show. All the other matches, because that triple threat is pretty much in doubt for the IC title. We haven't heard any. The US title. We haven't heard any update.
Dunne.
Yeah, the women's tag match. Might be a better match, but at least I don't know. I feel like that's a loss because we don't care unless involved. And the same thing. Lacey Evans, Asuka, that's done. So like I said, the two Chamber matches I think will be good. I'm excited for obviously. Then the Roman Reigns match to follow. But other than that, no, it's not. It's typical WWE.
It's going to be okay, so we'll see. But don't forget tomorrow, we got to reiterate, Elimination Chamber preview, everything, all the matches. Like you said, more information on Keith Lee, more information on why they changed the tag matches, like with the Raska and Lacey Evans. When did WWE found out about Lacey Evans being pregnant? All of it is going to be tomorrow, and also like a great, going through the history of the Elimination Chamber and how Jean-Paul loved 2002 Survivor Series, how I loved 2008, and all of that. So be with us on that on Facebook and on YouTube. You'll see Jean-Paul's cut. So the one thing you can do for us, always we say it, subscribe. Please hit the bell for notifications. Every single day we put content for you. We never rest, we never sleep. That's what the original rubric. Where else can they find us?
And then, like we said, the only place to see the uncensored and uncut version of the Elimination Chamber preview is the Rope Break on Facebook. You can also follow us, the OG Rope Break, on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, and of course on YouTube at the Original Rope Break.
So family, we'll see you tomorrow, 5 o'clock, for Elimination Chamber preview, and then on Sunday, Elimination Chamber review, live right here on YouTube. You and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...